Smith. I am at the TalkBack2Me podcast hosted by Core94. I want you all to tune in this Wednesday where I'll be talking about your beauty marks and you staying true to yourself. You all can follow me as she is K Smith, the Sis Movement, and she is Fit Fine. And yeah, make sure you all tune in.
Yo, what it do, kings and queens? And welcome to another edition of Talk Back to Me podcast, powered by the Core94. We got an interesting topic to talk about today. But first, let me go ahead and introduce these co-hosts. Give it up for special guest and first-time co-host appearance. She is K Smith. Go ahead and tell us what you got.
Hi, everyone. K Smith on the show, here to talk about beauty marks and embracing what God has given us. I'm very open about being who I am and what God has given me with, so I'm happy to be on the show and talk about what I have.
All right. That she is. And next we got Jelly burning up the charts. What you got for us coming up?
Hey guys, it's Jelly with your ear to the streets, and today I want to talk to you all about the wildfires in the Amazon, where 20% of the world's oxygen come from, that have been burning for the past 3 weeks. And I also want to discuss this rivalry between Chick-fil-A and Popeyes. I want to know how they're getting all this free publicity, but your neighbor can't get that out of you. So, I'll swing back around to that on Ear to the Streets.
I'm looking forward to that. It kind of made me hungry a little bit, too. And last but certainly not least, welcome back, the ferocious Chelsea. What you got for us coming up? I like calling you that.
She feisty.
Nah, it's your girl Chelsea pouring into you with Where's the Wine. Today I'm talking about if you jealous, we ain't friends, sis.
Naturally.
Woo, Lord, I know it's going to be a good one right here. We got to stir the pot up a little bit. So let's just jump right into it here. Episode today is beauty marks, defining what defines you as a woman of color. I'm going to go ahead and let the ladies take care of this and starting out with yourself. She is K Smith. What you got on that?
What defines me is everything within me. So I would say my heart, my character. I don't really define myself by my outer beauty marks. I think what I've gone through internally shows my beauty marks outwardly. So experiences that have molded me to be the beautiful woman that I am today. So yeah.
Jelly, what about you?
I would say mine is my resilience. I mean, it doesn't matter what I've been through. I always overcome it, and my ability to stay positive even in situations that are meant to tear me down and break me down and spread that positivity. Anyone who knows me or comes in contact with me will tell you that I am a person who is supportive. I am a person who is kind of outspoken, but I make sure you understand that you are valued and you are worthy and you are worth so much more than you even think. So what makes me beautiful is my heart, for sure, and my passion for others. That's what I think.
I like that. I
am cute. I'm cute too.
Okay. All right. Tell us what you got on that one.
When it comes to beauty marks, I feel like different people can kind of see different things in you as far as what makes you beautiful. But for me, one thing I hear a lot, and one thing I've noticed about myself is my ability to create something from nothing or make a bad situation in a good situation. People get mad at me all the time because I don't raise my voice. Or, I know how to, think positive versus getting upset about something. Just think about it as, okay, well, next time it'll be different. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's one of the things that makes me beautiful because a lot of people struggle with that. So, yeah.
Okay. So we got three beautiful queens here right now. I got a real question, seeing I'm the only brother here speaking on it. Why are so many women trying to change, especially women of color, trying to change their appearance just to fit in with society? Who can speak up on that one? I gotta know. I have to know.
It's a lot of different ways you can go with that. But the most obvious one is social media, and not even social media, because before that was a thing, you still had women that watched TV or looked in magazines or saw ads and saw women that didn't look like them that were quote unquote the standard of beauty. So it's definitely other people's perspective on what beauty is, and a lot of people are trying to change what they are naturally to look a certain way so that they can fit the bill. But yeah, it's just all about basically just what you see and not seeing representation of what you look like as a standard of beauty.
I mean, I would say that people's perception of you has become a lot of people's reality. So if someone is saying, man, she bad, she got a fat ass, flat stomach, big titties, pretty smile, you know, she the shit, she got this pretty hair, she's mixed, you know, she popping. That's who you want to be like. That's who you aspire to be. That's why so many women weren't comfortable wearing their natural hair for the longest. So many women weren't comfortable gaining weight and filling out. They feel like I had to be a size 4 or less, and if not, I don't fit the bill. I'm not attractive. And that's because when you look at the mainstream media, the women that you see getting the most attention, getting the most praise, these are the women who are half naked on the internet. These are the women who have their ass out in every picture. These are the women doing cucumber challenges.
Oh, Lord.
These are the women. These are the women who don't act like women.
Okay.
They act more like hoes. And it's sad to say it, but you want to be respected as a woman, but you're portraying these characteristics of someone who doesn't deserve that. So I just feel like it's too much attention placed on bullshit than it is on the real shit. We have a lot of real women out here who are hustlers, who are go-getters, who are entrepreneurs, who are thriving, and they don't get the recognition they deserve because it's overshadowed by the whole shit. That's yeah.
Well, and I feel like the, you know, quote unquote whole shit is only that way because that's what men like to see. Like what you said, that's what the
Some.
Right.
that's what men like to see.
Some.
Okay. So I mean, of course you have men that say I don't want to marry a woman like that, but you liking her pictures. You know what I'm saying? You got her videos on your phone. Am I lying?
But here's the
ticket
thing.
was just up. Never mind, I'm gonna be quiet.
Yeah.
But
Go ahead.
I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? So it's, and I wouldn't even consider it whole shit. That's just what's popular. You know what I'm saying? Like what somebody doing is popular because a lot of women do that in private. You just don't know about it. You know,
like
I'm
10 other
saying,
pictures.
I'm saying when like that's all you promote.
Oh well, yeah.
When that's all you promote, that's whole shit. See, with me, I have a nice balance. I know how to be for real. I know how to get gangster. I know how to get gangster. I know how to be a lady. But at the same time, I know how to have fun and enjoy
I thought you was
myself.
about to say you know how to be a hoe and be a lady. That's why I was. Oh, okay.
I'm one lady in the streets with a freak in the
Freaking
bed. But no, seriously though, it's like you have
Put
to.
your lip back
you
in,
have to
Paul.
have that balance, you know, because you can't be so much of a hoe that it takes away from the woman
Right,
you are
I see
and the
what you
woman
mean.
you are becoming.
Right.
You know, you have to have an image that when people see you, they still greet you with "Hello, how are you?" You fine instead of "Hey, bitch." Hey, excuse me.
Come
Hey,
here,
excuse me. Hey,
Stay
come here.
red.
No, with me. Hey, bow legs. First of all, sir, baby boy.
Baby boy.
Can we put a little respect on this? Excuse me, ma'am. How you doing? Yeah, this how you gotta approach me. But you won't ever be approached like
Them
that
niggas be
if all
crazy
you
too,
post is I'm twerking
Right.
in a swimsuit. All you post is I'm sucking on cucumbers, and I get it. You have free will. You can do that if that's what you want to do. If that's how you want to be portrayed, by all means, do that. But I'm saying you can't expect people to treat you with a certain level
Right.
of respect if you don't demand that and if you don't show that you deserve that.
Yeah.
They say respect is earned, not given.
Right.
So, earn it.
That's funny you say that because a couple of years ago, this was a while ago, I had a girl on Twitter tell me that I was misogynistic because it was this girl. She literally, it was a picture. She was sitting on the sink in a thong, and like that's all you could see was her ass. Like you couldn't see her face or anything. And she posted something about where all the real men at, guys. All they want to do is fuck and this and that. And I tweeted her back and I was like, do you think the reason they want to fuck is because your ass is your avatar? Like, and so this girl was like, oh, you misogynistic. You're shaming her for showing her body. And I was like, nah, I'm just saying if you want a man that wants a certain thing, that ain't it.
You don't want a nigga. You want a man. No,
Right.
that's
No,
real.
you're right.
You see an advertisement for the Popeye's chicken sandwich, goddamn. You see an advertisement for that.
That's
you
what
pull
the
up
fuck
to
I
Popeyes,
want.
that's what you
Yes,
want.
yeah.
You see it, it look like this.
That's why I
This is
went
what
last
want it
night
to
and
look
was
like.
highly disappointed.
I'm purchasing this so I can eat this.
Yeah.
Because this is what I saw and it it enticed me. That's what I want. Yep. So when I see you on the internet with your ass out, what you think I want from you? Your mind? No, I want your ass. Bend over, bitch.
And we logical creatures as men. I mean, you got to think about it. And I hate to go back to that topic where we was talking about last time on relationships and situationships, but I mean, you got to think about it. Why the hell you think Adam got deceived so goddamn quick? Ass and titties was all out. That was the first human being on the planet.
His dick was out too.
Hey, I'm just saying, we're looking at the outside. I mean, yeah, it's wrong. I mean, yeah, we do things
it's
with
not
our
an
dicks, but it's not an excuse. But it's been happening for generations.
Right.
And my change. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think aside from the social media, it goes back to how you were raised. It depends on, if you had a father figure in the house, that depends on, how you would dress around the house or how you were allowed to go outside the house. And I feel like oftentimes, if you didn't get that attention at home, women tend to grow up and they seek that attention and they don't know how to go about it in the right ways because they weren't, given that proper role model at home, whether it was from their father or from their mother. So some people, they just don't know any better. And like going back to social media, whatever they see, if she's posting in a thong, that's how I'll get the attention. Even though I want a man, I see that she's getting attention from all these men, but that's not necessarily what I want. But I'm seeing that that's how she's getting it. So I think it's more so of following what they think is going on, but they really don't have the proper guidance. And I think it goes back, beyond before social media, just how you were brought up.
That's true too. And you do have some people who were raised in strict households and they just wanted to get out.
Yeah, I was one of them. I've been there.
We talked about that. And I grew up in a strict household, but I was too afraid of my parents to do anything, like to sneak in. If I did anything, I told on myself. Like, because I was that afraid, not like afraid, like terrified, but I was just always, my daddy was one of those people that was like, when you go out, you represent us. So I was too afraid to embarrass them. You know what I'm saying? I was too afraid to be seen by somebody that's going to go back and tell my mom and my daddy that, oh, your daughter was out here wild and on some bullshit, you know? So, but you do have people who were raised in really strict or religious households and they just felt kind of like being rebellious was their way of being free, when in actuality, like, they didn't have to do that to be free, but it's almost like getting back at your parents, if that makes sense. But but like you said, it just depends on how you were raised, because it could go so many different ways.
Right. I had my fair share of balance with the, I think as long as that's another thing. If you go through the stage, it doesn't have to last as long. I snuck out and, did my fair share, but I didn't take it all the way there because, I had that, security, or when I went back home, I knew that I had to carry myself a certain way.
Right.
So it wasn't like I didn't have anything to fall back on. It was like, I can go out, do what I want to do, but at the end of the day, I know how I need to present myself when it's the time needed, So it was all about finding that balance.
But that's a good balance.
Yeah. It is. I mean, like, for me, it was like, okay, I was always the really smart one, stuck in the house. I didn't care to go outside. Like, that just wasn't my thing. Yeah. So as I got older, I got a car when I was 15. So I was driving to school every day when I was in high school. Oh, baby, y'all fucked up. I fucked up. I started skipping. No, for real. I started skipping. I started doing things that I knew I shouldn't have been doing, but I finally had some freedom.
Right.
They didn't keep a tight grip on me when I was in high school. I actually left my parents' house and was living with my sister, who's 15 years older than me. But it's like, okay, she gonna let me do what I want to do.
Right.
So I was out all night. As long as I got to school in the morning, and as long as I took my nieces and nephews wherever they needed to be, I was all right. I could do it. I could do as I very well please.
Yeah.
But it's all about making sure you have structure for your children, but you're not too tight on them because they will rebel, and that's just a natural thing. That's what everybody does. If they feel like, I don't have any freedom, you don't trust me, okay, I'm gonna give your ass a reason not to trust me. No, seriously.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, when I go home to my dad, you know how hard it was for me to tell that man I was pregnant? I found out at 6 months. I didn't tell him until I was 8 months. I was dead ass serious. I was not telling that man. And then when I did tell him, he told me I was a disgrace. He told me he was ashamed of me. He was disowning me. He was cutting me off. And I was like, all right, like, I was like, damn, it hurt. Like, it's fucked up. He didn't see my son until my baby was maybe, 3 months, almost 4 months. And a lot of people was like, oh, why you don't bring your baby around your dad or whatever. First of all, he not talking to me. He mad at me.
He don't want to see my baby.
He mad at me. He didn't want my maternity pictures. He didn't want none of that shit. He was like, because I don't know who told you to go have a baby at 20. No, ma'am.
And 20 ain't even it.
I was like, I'm 20. You act like I'm 15. I just popping the cooch.
You was grown.
But it's like, okay, it made it hard to approach him with certain things. It made it hard to talk to him about certain things. So, of course, I would lash out and I would seek that attention elsewhere.
Right.
Thankfully, my son's dad was a good dude, you know, during that time. He wasn't, like, manipulative or anything. So I could talk to him about things that were going on in my life, and he wasn't trying to, like, play on me. But that leaves a lot of women in these fucked up situations where these men are taking advantage of them because he's giving you attention, he's giving you a little money or whatever he giving you, and you feel like, oh damn, he doing something ain't nobody did for me. So of course I'm gonna be half naked on the internet. If it's gonna bring me money, it's gonna bring me attention. Of course I'm gonna be out here fucking and sucking on camera. It's gonna bring me money, it's gonna bring me attention. I'm gonna be the next Kim K. Why not? Her whole family is balling off of her having a sex tape.
But she also...
You suck dick on camera. Yeah. And boom.
But she had a mama that was good at flipping that shit.
Her mama the one who recorded me.
Right. She's right there.
Okay. There's Chris in the background like, you
catch that angle, Ray J.
Baby, keep going. Like, you know.
Hit them strokes now.
I mean.
Oh, my God.
I feel like sometimes the rebellion, like you said, it's a cry out for help. And it doesn't matter, you know, how old you are. Some women or young girls inside and they still crying out for help, and they replace it with materialistic things like the cars and the bags. But if you sit down and have a conversation with them, you know, either they'll have a wall up or, you know, they'll probably just break all the way down because they, you know, suppress that inner child that was trying to be themselves. And I think that, you know, also goes to parenting with, you know, them having the guidelines that they want for you and the expectations that they want for you. And when we're trying to break outside of those and we can't be, you know, who we want to be, just like you felt it was okay for you to have a baby, you know, but daddy didn't agree with that. You know, you're putting me back in that box that I don't necessarily want to be in, but with me wanting to get out of that box, I don't know the right way to do it, you know, because nobody's here to show me, you know, or I don't feel like I can go and talk to another female because she doing the same thing, you know, and that's not really what I want to do, but I'm going to go with it until somebody, you know, shows me.
And see, I think I got lucky because, like, my godmom, she was, like, 10 years younger than my mama, 10 years older than me. Like, she, like, right in the middle. Yeah. So, she was still young enough for us to hang out, but also old enough to be like, hey, I did that shit, don't do that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so... a lot, like my dad used to tell me all the time, he was like, you got an older sister, you got older cousins, you got a godmom that's close in age with you. If you ain't even got to talk to me, if you got some shit you need to get off your chest, go talk to one of them. You know what I'm saying? This was a conversation he had to me about sex. He was like, if you think you ready for sex, get a condom, ask one of them people to go take you to get some birth control. Don't bring no babies in this bitch. Right. Those are his, like, don't bring no babies in this bitch.
So see, you got that. I got no sex, no boys, no nothing. Yeah. Right. So it's like, what do I do, you know?
Well, my daddy told me I couldn't have a boyfriend until I was 16. But then I was 16 and he was like, you ain't never brung nobody around. I was like, ain't nobody worthy of my time. I was trying to sound good. But I was still sneaking and talking to boys on the phone. And then it got to a point where, like, I think we was watching the news and they said it was like some middle school kids got caught having sex in the closet. He was like, oh, hell no, we finna talk about this shit right now. But he never told me don't have sex because his thing was, you 15, you gonna do what you want to do if that's what you gonna do. He was like, just make sure you protect yourself. So I didn't get the same conversation that most people get where it was like, don't do it. Because now I'm going to do it. Yeah. But he was just like, just make sure you ready for it if you going to do it.
No, I ain't getting that.
He was like, if somebody say sex or mention anything that got to do with sex and you laugh, you ain't ready. And I was like, damn, I still be laughing at that shit. like I ain't ready. And then when I was 18,
he was my booty and I giggled.
Oh, no, I was fighting niggas when they touched me, you know, because that was something else my daddy did. He was like, you know.
But see, that goes back to you having a father in the house as well. Yeah. Like, so.
Well, I had a father, but he was just, he had a baby at 13.
Okay.
So he was just trying to make sure I didn't do the same thing he did. Okay. So he was just really, really strict and just tried to make sure he gave me information in a way that I could understand where I didn't want to rebel. You know what I'm saying? So
at least you had those conversations.
Yeah,
I was out here like figuring that out for myself. Like my older sisters, even they didn't, had to talk with me. I was always like the little boy out of all the girls. I was raised mostly around my brothers versus my sisters. So my whole family thought I was gay. Even when I said I was pregnant, they was like, "Girl, you a whole dyke. Stop playing. Like, stop playing. You ain't pregnant." I'm like,
the brat.
I'm like, nigga,
and apparently,
your girl pregnant for real. They was like, "Baby, you can't get pregnant from a strap." Hey, I got a boyfriend. Right. They was like, "Oh, I thought that was just a cover up." No, nigga, like we having real life problems over here. Like, what's going on? Somebody help! Like, somebody help me, please,
please.
That's
Lord,
like the episode of Ayanna Fix My Life, and the mama was like calling one of her girls. Somebody had started a rumor about one of her daughters, said she was out sucking dick and stuff, and her mama believed it because that's what she was doing at her age. So she was like calling her daughter a hoe and like kicking her out the house and all that shit. And at the end of the episode, Ayanna was like, "Baby, what do you want to tell your mama?" She was like, "I don't even like dudes." She was like, "I've been having the same girlfriend for like 10 years." Like,
really?
Yeah. She was like, "I ain't never looked at a dick." Like, and so
don't even know what it looks.
And her mama felt like shit because she had disowned her and all of that stuff for years based on something somebody else said to her.
Yeah, parents don't give you open line of communication. Yeah. When you try to go talk to them, they tell you, "Oh, shut up, you don't know what you're talking about. You need to sit down somewhere." Or you trying to be grown, you trying to be fast, oh, you trying to be disobedient and disrespectful. No, I'm trying to tell you how I feel. Right. I'm trying to tell you what's going on with me. Because when shit like this happens and it hits the fan, you're going to like, well, I had no clue. Yeah, of course you didn't have any clue because I can't come and express myself to you. Yeah. And the world around me is affecting the person I am because you're not doing it. You're not raising me. So my peers are raising me. The adults I see out in the streets are raising me. The television is raising me. Exactly. And at the time, it wasn't big on social media. It was like MySpace or shit like that.
Black Planet.
We all had like our age demographic on MySpace. But my friends out there fucking and sucking. Right. Yeah. I got a tattoo when I was 16. Yeah. From my first boyfriend. I still got this man's name on my side to this day. Had I had the right guidance, had I had the right people in my life to tell me, like, this ain't what you want to do. I've been there, done that, and it ain't all that. Yeah. I guarantee you I wouldn't have went that route. The reason I got pregnant was my niece passed, and I lashed out. I separated myself from my whole family. Like, I disappeared for a year type shit. And boom, I was living with my boyfriend. Yeah. You know how they go. But had I had the parents who were like, no, you're going to come home, you're going to express yourself, you're going to go to therapy, you're going to get help, and we're going to make sure you're okay. It'd have been different. I wouldn't be a mother right now. I love my son to death, but I wouldn't be a mother right now. Well, I probably would, but not to a 4-year-old. Right. You know, but...
She said I probably would.
No, I probably would because I love babies. I do. Yeah. I don't like kids. I love babies.
I love kids too, but I'm still gonna wait on them babies.
Yeah. You know what? I lied. I like kids. I don't like disrespectful kids. Yeah. I don't like those kids.
See, those are my favorite ones. I like getting young kids boys. In check.
No, I'll let bitch don't make a sound. I'll be like, wait a minute.
But if you realize, if you think about it, whenever they get whenever they face with somebody that don't play that shit, they don't act like that.
No, kids don't do that around me.
That's what I'm saying. Who? Because my mama was like, she went to the pool one day. She took my brother to the pool, and there was some kids out there cussing their ass off. And this lady got up and left because she had little kids, and she didn't want them to hear that. And my mama was like, put them babies back in the pool. She was like, what you gonna do is you gonna stop cussing. If you got a motherfucking problem, you can leave. Like, my mama got on their ass, and they was like, yes, ma'am. Turned the music off and everything. And they just sat there until she left, and then they turned the music back on. But it was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people know who to play with.
It takes someone you can respect. It takes an authority figure to redirect you when you're on the wrong path. And if not, baby, you're going to crash. Yeah. Okay?
So let me ask y'all something. Let me ask y'all something. Since we're talking on that subject, do you feel women of color are becoming a lost cause right now? And let me explain before y'all jump down my throat. I'm the only brother.
We all got the same view.
Let me explain. Let me explain. So what I mean by that is, with social media dictating on what type of woman you're supposed to be, with men, well, I'm going to say boys, I'm going to stop saying men, with boys out here chasing after the wrong appearance and not looking at the actual spirit of a woman, why are so many women gravitating to this social media or what a man thinks is a queen supposed to be type? What's going on?
First of all,
what's going on?
times have changed.
Yeah.
This is the age of enlightenment. So
There we
let's
go.
start there. This is the age of enlightenment.
Yeah.
And
wanna
these
know.
women are bosses.
Yep.
These black women are
Yep.
entrepreneurs. They handling their business. They getting shit done.
Okay.
And they're beautiful while they doing it. You know how many women are in a natural hair stage right now versus 3 years ago? What was going on? Everybody
hair
kind of had the
relaxes.
longest bundles, the blondest, whatever. Yeah, they
Yeah.
still doing it every now and then, but people are embracing their natural hair.
Who
They're
they
taking
are.
care of themselves. Their chakras are aligned. You know,
Yeah.
Therapy.
everything's going according to plan. So I won't say it's a lost cause because now these younger generations have something to look forward to.
Right.
They have their representation now. You have all these black women who are business owners, and it's also about who you allow to be your inspiration. You know, who am I following?
Okay.
I need to make sure I'm putting positive people on my page, because when I wake up in the morning, I don't need to see somebody sucking a cucumber. I don't need to see, and yes, I'm still talking about this fucking cucumber.
Yeah.
I don't need to
Shout out to
see.
B King.
I don't need to see somebody on there fighting, you know, every morning. I need to wake up to an inspirational post.
Right.
I need
Right.
to wake up to, you know, someone giving me my daily affirmations or anything.
Yeah.
Shout out to Shid K. Smith
thank you.
with the sis movement.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because this woman breeds positivity. I mean, her aura is amazing. I wake up every morning and I make sure I go look at her page, because whatever I'm feeling for the moment, she takes me out of that. And I don't think she does it intentionally, but she's such a positive person, and she doesn't admit anything other than that.
Okay.
So when you go to her page, you're going to get something inspirational. You're going to get motivated. You're going to feel like, I'm not doing enough. I need to do more. Because the way this woman is busting her ass and making shit shake, I wish I could do it. Like, I wish I could be that. So, you
But
know.
you can though.
Yeah, definitely.
No, I'm
can.
saying, but that's
You
what
gotta
she
have
does for
something
you.
to look
Naturally,
forward to.
yeah.
She's up at 5 o'clock in the morning getting ready to go work out. Meanwhile, you just open your eyes. You like, oh shit, let me get up. Because she up and active already. I need to get on board. No,
Yeah.
seriously. You're supposed to surround yourself with people who inspire you, not people who make you feel comfortable. I don't want to be complacent. I want to be uncomfortable. I want you to make me move. I want you to make me feel like I'm not doing enough. I got a lot more to do.
Right. I think that's part of what I went through and why I did start the cis movement, just to touch on it a little bit, because when I went through me not being able to speak to my mom about certain issues, my mom would feed me, and as toxic as it sounds, she would tell me black boys can't do anything for you but give you STDs and babies.
Oh shit.
And it was, you know, literally stick to the books. But I would question it so much because I knew that I wanted to date one day, but it was like, if there's nothing to look forward to,
Right.
you know, why is that? And then what can they look forward to in me, you know, so that I don't attract whatever she's talking about, because I know that can't be all that there's out there, you know, to date. I know that eventually, you know, I didn't want to be a single mom because I saw what I was raised by, and I saw how whatever emotions she experienced from that, how it affected her and how it affected my relationship with her and how I saw myself. So back to the, you know, clothes and the social media, my mom would always tell me, you know, you need to wear a shirt that covers your butt. You need to, you know, wear this. You shouldn't, you know, that's enticing men. I'm like, you know, I'm not doing anything but just walking outside. I'm not asking to be raped. You know, I'm not asking to entice men.
Right.
just
And
because-
that's skin.
Right,
They feel like
right.
because you're half naked, that is an invitation to
Right.
your body. They feel like because I'm in a swimsuit on social media,
I'm asking for it.
I'm asking for it. No
Yeah.
bullshit. I'm being myself, and I can be
Confidence.
free. I can go to the pool and take a picture if I feel nice and I feel like I look good. I can do that.
Right. But because other women make it more than what it is,
Right.
it's
Exactly.
making us look like,
Well,
you know.
and then you also
we're
have to
following
think
it.
about it this way too, because I think a lot of times we see our parents and our grandparents as like invincible or only for what we know, but your mom might have experienced something and she didn't tell you.
Right.
You know?
I'm sure.
Yeah, so it's like, and it was probably traumatic for her. So instead of just talking to you about it or being more open about it, she just projected what she didn't want to happen to her, so it doesn't happen to you.
And I had to learn that and understand that so that I wouldn't keep judging her for what she was teaching me. So I just took it upon myself to do my research and embrace who I was. So that's why I would be, you know, 15 years old doing a big chop Like, I want to wear my natural hair. And my mom's like, you need to put weave. I'm like, why? You know, I want to be who I am. But she would tell me, you know.
You need to look presentable.
Yeah,
you
your hair should not be worn shorter than, you know, a man's length of hair. If your hair is shorter than a man, you know, you're not doing right. And I was just like, that's not it. You know, like that. So I read and I research because I'm like, you know, who am I? Back to the beauty marks. Like, what is it that makes me me?
Right.
And if me being who I am, will that attract somebody? And once I started seeing that it was working, it was like, I want to be more of who I am, you know? I don't really want to listen to what everybody else has to say because that's, you know, that's what you have to say about me. I want to know what it is that I have to say about myself. And if you accept me for what I have to bring to the table, then cool. If not, then I just understand that you're not for me, you know? And
you know how many women experience that, but they never actually learn that. That's why at one point everybody was getting relaxed. Everybody had a rap. Everybody was coloring their hair blonde and light brown because they those same things were put onto them. You know, and we're at a point where we're teaching our parents.
Yeah,
like it's crazy because it's like, oh, you got to do what your mama and your daddy say. But now we're at a point where we teaching our parents. Like, my mom has been having a relaxer since, like, forever. But she has pretty hair. And my mom has red hair. And so I was like, you know, you should go natural. And she's like, I ain't doing that. That ain't going to look good on me. Why not? That's how it come out your head. Why not?
Right.
You know, but a lot of people have that on them, or they see that in what they, you know, as they grew up, that's what they saw. So that's all that they know. So then when they see somebody, I had a girl, when I did my big chop, she was like, you ain't got the kind of hair to be going natural.
I went through it.
And I was like,
yeah, your hair nappy.
Wow.
But
it
just took me seeing.
This is good hair.
Right.
This hair grows. Where yours grow.
Yeah.
But people started getting lies and relaxers so they could be more like white people. This was something that was established early on in the 50s and 60s or whatever. Because you wanted to be accepted by the white people. You felt like, okay, maybe if my hair was a little less kinky and it was slicker and it was going down, they would respect me more. They would be more accepting towards me. But we've always been riding the coattails of what white people say is in. So with that being said, we stopped feeling as beautiful as we are. We stopped taking care of our hair. We started stripping it of its nutrients. We started doing everything we could to be closer to them, to emulate them. But now look how the roles have reversed. They're doing everything. They're paying top dollar to be built like us, to look like us, to have our color. People are getting melanin injections. Like, they're trying to tone their skin to look like us. And at this point, it's like, you did all this changing for a motherfucker who don't want to be themselves. They want to be you.
I think it's a shift, just like how you said, where the world is going through an awakening right now, and it's kind of like, you know, y'all had enough time, and I feel like we're catching on now. So you said, are we, you know, falling off? I think, no, we're actually, you know, waking up, and it's waking them up as well, you know, and they're like, okay, they're starting to take off. We need to be like them now. You know, at first they had to leave because y'all had control, but once we, you know, start changing the way we think, our diet, you know, that's the whole thing. We're woke now. Once, you know, black women start taking over, you know, you have no choice but to respect us, just like, you know, Beyonce. But Beyonce is who she is wholeheartedly. You know, she's going to wear what she wants to wear on stage. She's going to do whatever dance routine. She's going to do it on her time. And, you know, there's black, white, all kind of different races that respect her, but that's because she decides to be who she wants to be. She does, she wants to be.
I was watching an interview with Jadena the other day. I think I posted it. I don't know if y'all don't watch my stuff. Anyway.
I like Jadena.
Oh, girl, he's so fine.
He been grinding.
Them videos.
Look at him.
But he made a statement, and he was like, honestly, black men are intimidated that women are starting to like progress, and they feel like that's gonna make them look weaker. And he was like, but at the end of the day, that shouldn't make you feel like you're gonna be weak. That should actually make you feel like you're gonna be strong, because if she's on this level, that means you need to be on this level. You know what I'm saying? Because we, as you know,
but I
as we all learn, men are supposed to be leaders. But it's like we running the same
race. We make y'all who y'all are. Y'all need us.
I mean,
What's the difference between a boy and a man, Queen?
Yeah,
Remember.
I
but
think
if
it's a
we
big
if we running,
even a man, you need a woman.
Oh yeah, most
That's why
definitely.
we were created. We
He
were
knows
created
that
from
he
the
needs
rib
a
of a
woman.
man.
Yeah, you're
you
right.
need me, baby.
Yeah, I think it's
Without
the way
that
the
rib,
system
you're
set it
vulnerable.
up.
You're right about that.
right?
how
and
they-
that's what he was saying.
They, suppress the black man and
and yeah,
put the woman, beneath
Underneath
the
her.
Yeah.
But once we start rising,
No, I feel like what they did, they suppressed the black man and they made the women the masculine figures. So it emasculated the male.
Yeah, right.
So we started putting you in jail. We started
Child
making
support.
it seem like you weren't reliable.
right?
So this stops the procreation.
Yeah.
Because if you're not worthy enough of being my man, how you gonna be worthy enough of being my baby?
And then they
I
could-
think,
Lord,
I think it started off as what she's saying, and it ended up how
right.
you're saying
And then
it.
black women start depending on white people in the system
started
and
depending on the
food stamps
government
and
assistance.
yeah,
Yeah.
and-
Because the Black Panther Party is the one who initially started the free lunches for the
Yeah.
schools and giving back to the communities for women who were in need, for women and children. And then the white people came in and was like, oh, no, wait a minute, because
And they
y'all are
start
rebels.
making it seem
Y'all
yep,
are rebels.
Yep.
So we can't back what you're doing, but we can steal your idea.
Right.
And we can
And they start
make
making
people
it seem like they
praise
were
us
bad people.
and make it feel like,
Yep.
oh, we're the saviors. You know, everybody feels like white people are the saviors. There's this white people savior complex. No, you don't need them to save you. Save your fucking self.
right.
Amen to that.
I think that goes back to our history with the man supposed to be the provider, and with the way that they set up the educational systems and set us up for failure from the beginning. I think that plays a big role, because once they feel like they can't provide for their family, they go out and they do different things such as selling drugs and stealing and robbing, and then that gets caught up in the system, and then they can't provide. But it's all the way that they set it up from the jump. We're not going to put universities in your neighborhood, or not going to put the
liquor
best
stores.
books. We're going to put everything around you that's going to set you up for failure. That way the black woman can't depend on you, and she becomes so independent, and I don't ever need a man, when in reality you do. You need a man as well, just like a man needs a woman. It's all about balance. But we don't know that.
Yeah, they ended up fucking themselves.
Right.
Now black women are the most educated in the world.
Right.
Black women they're growing at entrepreneurship.
creative.
It's growing so fast. Like you said, they trying to be like us. They mimicking us. They changing their skin. They changing their body. They changing their hair. The way that they talk. They've ended up fucking themselves, because they thought we were weak, and we ended up being who we are, and prevailing over anything that they tried to hold us down with.
Well, I don't think that they fuck themselves, because as he said, not all men are like that. And I feel like
no, not men. I mean, like society.
Yeah, I just feel like it just goes based on what you want to see and what you're expecting.
Yeah.
If that's all that you see, then you'll
you
think
surround
that
yourself around.
women are, evolving. But there are some kings out here that are evolving as well. But I just think
Thank you, K. Smith.
you have to see past what they want you to see. They're going to show you that black women are elevating, but there's kings elevating too, but they're not going to show us all of that, because then we'll be too powerful, and that's going to cause
black women are elevating either.
right. You'll see it here and there, but you'll see Kylie Jenner, billionaire at 21, before you'll see
but let's talk about Marsai Martin,
right,
and how she's the youngest producer.
Exactly.
Like, she's directing, she's producing, she's on a roll, and this young woman is 14, 15 years old. Like, how is it that Kylie Jenner is
on the
getting
cover
this spotlight?
All that praise.
She's getting this spotlight
for makeup,
but you don't see what this young black girl is doing.
But you gotta remember, her mama is in her bag.
But that
when
makes
comes
it
to the
even
media.
worse, because you're coming from money. That's not authentic ideas and creativity. You can just I want this and pay for it, and
and then I remember when she first came out with the cosmetic line, it wasn't even her idea. She had the same factory as ColourPop, and she was using the same shit. She just put her name on it.
I heard about that. That's crazy.
Yeah. So it ain't even originally her idea to have some of the stuff that she had on her line.
Typical white people shit.
Okay, I was trying not to go there.
No, go ahead. This is talk back to me.
I was trying not to go there, but it's true. When you look at shit and you see, I came out. I think somebody said something. They came out with bonnets, and it was like made out of silk, and she was selling them for $300.
That was important. like $75.
Yeah,
don't wear it
you
to
come to the hood, it's $5.99.
Just don't
But
wear
they
it to the store.
upsell ours. Because
When we wear it, it's ghetto,
right?
And it's trashy. But when they do it, it's high fashion.
Right.
It's urban wear. It's classy.
I know y'all remember the cornrows phase with Chloe,
boxer braids.
Yeah, Chloe Kardashian, Kim Kardashian, they all start rocking the braids, and now that's the trend. But that's been our protective
Well, and then when she got them, when she got them other braids with them beads, and she was just like, "Oh, I got this from Bo Derek," and Bo Derek was like, "Oh, well, I got it from an African woman."
Right.
Yeah, girl.
So it all descends from the queenship. So we're going to take a quick break here. This is a heavy topic. Queens, make sure y'all taking notes and tuning in on this one. This one is going to change your life on what you need to do as far as beauty marks. We'll be right back with a word from Jelly. All right, and we're back again. Talk Back to Me podcast, powered by the Core94. Make sure you tune in Wednesday on all platforms. We always dropping some heat. Coming up, we have the most entertaining, I would say, right now on the show. Jelly with her ears to the streets. What you got for us coming up?
So today, I would like to discuss this Chick-fil-A and Popeyes controversy.
Ooh.
So, people are literally going crazy behind a freaking chicken sandwich. I mean, Popeyes has sold out in multiple locations. They have about $43 million worth of free advertisement from Twitter alone. You know, people don't understand the power of the black dollar. Because this is definitely black Twitter's doing. I don't think it's the others promoting this how we are. Like, we are crazed behind a damn chicken sandwich. And it's a real life competition out here. They like, nah, Popeyes got the best. No, Chick-fil-A got the best. And then Shake Shack will jump in like, oh, we got the best chicken sandwich. You know,
Shake
everybody.
Shack got a chicken sandwich?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
What?
I always get the shroom burger. Come here.
but no, seriously though, it's like, okay, y'all are promoting these people for free and you get nothing out of it. You go there, you still have to purchase that sandwich that you want, but your friend has a business and you're not promoting your friend's business. Your friend has, you know, is trying to get their business started and rolling and off the ground, and you can't support them how you supporting Popeyes and Chick-fil-A. Get the fuck out of here. You're not really a friend. That's how I feel.
I just feel like maybe because fast food, they're not afraid of competition. In friendship, it gets kind of shaky, you know?
Yeah.
It could be fun competition, but they take it kind of personal, you know?
Yeah.
Versus, you know, Chick-fil-A want to see, are you going to sell more sandwiches or not? You know, what's up, you know? Like,
Exactly.
That's
it's
like
no
that.
hard feelings.
Yeah.
We all trying to get money.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, this competition is lucrative for both of us, not just me.
Yeah.
And this is getting so much media attention, and it's like, okay, people are in a frenzy. These people are running out of chicken breasts. They running out of buns and stuff. I'm like, what are y'all putting in this? Like, y'all putting crack in this like y'all did Coke back in the 80s or what? Like, I'm trying to see, like, I need to know what's going on.
That's why they gave me chicken
y'all got that secret sauce. And they said the Chick-fil-A sandwich is made by a white woman named Sarah, who is always around black people. And then Popeye's sandwich is made by an older woman named Lucille, who everybody call Medea, who don't give a damn about your cholesterol. And I was like, so that's the difference between the two. They're both taste really good, but one is just a bit healthier versus the other is just like
a whole bunch of sodium.
Right.
This the good
That
shit.
goes the
Do you want it or not?
Yeah. That's what she was saying about the how people support stuff like that, but they don't support their friends. It's like that clip of Black China on her show where her friend was like, "Oh, you saw that shit?
Yeah.
Like, you ain't gave me no money." Like,
She was like, "You ain't gave me your money since September."
Yeah, like, I don't want to.
Well, she was like, "I don't have to," and she was like, "And I gave you $20,000. First of all, my friend gave me $20,000 in September.
You
ain't gotta give me nothing else.
Exactly.
Right?
Don't need nothing.
Because I definitely use that money for my business. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure that's why she gave it to her. But it's like I get why a lot of people are mad. Well, why you can't post your friend's stuff? But I don't know. It's kind of shaky because I get why she said I don't have to. And I'm gonna say this because you have a lot of people who actually don't know what they're doing and they just be trying shit.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I can't promote it if it's not right.
Yeah. Like you don't know how many times she probably said, I think you should do something different. You know what I'm saying? We don't know, because like I told y'all on another episode, I have a friend, I keep telling her, sis, I don't really know if that's your lane. You know what I'm saying? So if you've told them that and now they're doing it and it's not something that you feel could be successful and you've already talked to them about it, I'm sorry, sis, I'm not posting that on my page. You know what I'm saying? Because at this point, what I post, I get paid for it. Yeah. In her position, you know what I'm saying? It's different if it's me. I'm gonna post it anyway.
And people take my word for what I post, what I promote.
So if I know you got bad customer service, even though I'm your friend, and I know you got bad, I'm not sending nobody to you because now, she sent me to so and so, and they full of shit. So I ain't doing nothing else she say do. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times you gotta protect yourself. You know, whether it's your friend or not, or just, I mean, we don't know if she did or not. Try to put your friends in a position where, or teach them, show them how it should actually be done. But sometimes people don't want to hear it.
Well, I feel like it goes, back to the chicken sandwiches. It's all about preference. It doesn't necessarily have to be a negative competition. But I mean, maybe I want Susan to make my chicken sandwich this time, or maybe I want to support this friend one time just because, I support someone else. That doesn't mean that I don't support you. But maybe I don't feel like eating Popeyes today, Maybe I don't want all that salt. Right. It's not to say that I don't like Popeyes chicken or I don't want, Aunt Luann to make my chicken, but it's just like, maybe I want to detox, maybe I don't want to rock your hair. I just think, I think everybody, they have their own, they're entitled to their own opinions and to switch up, just like with the hair or whatever. Maybe I don't want to wear weave anymore. It's not anything against weave, because maybe in a few months I want to rock it again, but I think it's all about understanding that people have their own preferences,
Right, because if I'm a vegan and all my followers vegan and you just open up a barbecue shack, I'm not posting that shit on my page.
I don't have to, because that's my preference. That's what, that's what I want to deal with.
I have a cousin who's trying to start a YouTube, like a blog. Now, he's a gay male, but I've told him my followers are not the crowd that I can promote that to. Like, I can't promote that to the people who follow me. You're not going to get any positive feedback out of my page. Right. So it don't make sense. Like, if I send somebody to follow you, the first thing they see is you on your page in your drawers twerking. You know how many of my male followers going to be like, you out of fucking pocket. Right. You know how many of my women followers, I even have female followers who be like, I don't want to see that shit. I even tell them, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see your print, sir. Yeah. I'm not intrigued. I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
Dick prints are offensive.
You got to find your
especially when they unsolicited.
Exactly. That's what he's like, you don't support me. I do. Yeah. I support you to the fullest. I'll pay for whatever you need paid for. I'll pay for whatever, editing and whatever digital graphic designs you want. I'll do that. Yeah. But I cannot post you on my page with the image that I'm trying to build or the brand that I'm trying to build.
Right. Yeah, it's different ways to support, and people, kind of put that down. They think, if I don't pay for this, you're not supporting me. No, I'll shoot you some money, but I can't publicly display that because of my reputation. And I think it just goes back to, preference and what you want. Just like with me empowering women, everybody don't want to see that. There's some women that I follow on Instagram that want to see the IG models, and then there's Jelly who will support me, and this is who I get my affirmations from. I feel like in business sometimes, like you said, people they're trying things out and they don't really want to put in the work to find their audience or their crowd or their customers. Just because I have these customers, that's what they want from me. That's what they're seeking from me. But you have to do your own work, and that's the part that you have to do as an entrepreneur. I can't do that for you.
And when you are who you are, whether you like it or not, your people are going to come to you regardless. If you be like, I don't like these type of people that's following me, well, sis, you need to try something different,
because it's you that's attracting them.
It's something you doing that's bringing these people to you. Well, it's a whole bunch of hood girls following me. I'm not hood. Girl, it's something you doing that they can relate to. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that was something, because I don't, who was I talking? I think I was talking to her, but I was like, dang, like I have all these ideas about outfits in my head, but I always end up wearing black. You know what I'm saying? And it come out bomb.
I'm trying to force Chelsea put some colors on. Goddamn it!
and that color will be red, because that's the only.
Exactly. She want to do red. I'm like,
but it's just like I have all these ideas. I can make it and put somebody else in them colors, but when it come to me, I always gravitate to darker colors, neutral colors, or black.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, girl, maybe that's your lane. It's a whole bunch of people that love black. So put together some dope ass black outfits that people can be inspired from. So it's in you. And sometimes we try to like move away from what's naturally in us. And that's where we start messing up. That's where you have people trying shit. And that's those same people that feel like, oh, you're not supporting me because you don't post my stuff on Instagram or this, and that. And it's like, I don't feel like that's who you are. I feel like you could do something else and be a lot more successful than what you're doing in this, in this way. And that could be support too, by telling your friend the truth.
Yeah, I mean, but that's also your opinion as well. I just think if you can't do it, just do it in a respectful way. Like, hey, that's not what I'm really rocking with. But if that's what, you want to do, then by all means do it.
Yeah.
And, we can keep the friendship. It doesn't have to be a business relationship between us just because we're both entrepreneurs. I think, that goes into it too. Yeah. Popeyes and Chick-fil-A, they not, sitting at the table, discussing what they're going to do next. There's Popeyes and then there's Chick-fil-A, and it just so happens, the people that support the two different businesses, they created, this event or whatever that allowed them, to make the money off of, other people's premises, but that doesn't mean that they have to collaborate and build. Everybody has their individual lane, and I think people get that misconstrued.
Yeah, because Chick-fil-A still not gonna open on Sundays. They don't give a damn what.
Still not
exactly.
Open on
Chick-fil-A is still steadfast in their values and their belief. They are a Christian company, and they go by the guidelines. Versus Popeyes is like, I'm gonna meet you where you at. What you want?
Right. And you're not getting no ketchup either. Unless you ask. But Chick-fil-A gonna give you 2 or maybe an extra sauce. It just depends.
Y'all, that girl got mad at me last night.
10 sauces. If you want it, it's yours.
If you want an extra for Popeyes, it's 50 cents. I need that.
Last night I went to Popeyes, right? And she was like, "Oh, did you want?" They had me pull over. So they brought me my food, and she was like, "Oh, did you want some sauce?" I said, "Yeah." I told her I wanted some black and ranch, and she was like, "Okay." And so she went back and she came back and she brought me one sauce. I said, "Just one?" I mean, if I would have known they gave me chicken nuggets and not chicken tenders, then I would have been all right, Right. But I was like, you just gave me one.
That's why I check my food. They be like, "Ma'am, okay, you're done." Nah, excuse me. Hold on a second.
You forgot something?
Y'all.
Exactly.
I said extra gravy on my mashed potatoes.
I think that goes back to knowing who you're dealing with too. When you go to Popeyes, you already know I'm gonna have to ask. Chick-fil-A, I'm gonna be straight. I think that this goes back to what you want to deal with. If I don't want to deal with you in business, because of your reputation or what I've heard about you, then I don't have to. Like Popeyes, like, do I really want to deal with this today? Or, can I just go to Chick-fil-A and have a good mood and, see, the white people, whoever has trained them, the right way
My pleasure.
Give. Yeah. Like, how do I feel? If I'm chilling.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Sometimes I feel like going to the hood and getting me some Popeyes. But on most days, I don't need that type of energy,
I need you to walk up to my window, curbside service. "Hello, ma'am.
Right.
How can I help you today?"
That's what I want.
What can I get for you?
So, Jelly, I guess
that's standard now. Oh, go ahead. My bad.
So I guess the question that we all dying to know is, what's a better chicken sandwich? Which one did you try to close it out? What's better, that Popeyes or that Chick-fil-A?
I actually haven't had Chick-fil-A.
Oh,
wow.
I haven't. And I've literally had that Popeyes joint one time, and it wasn't even big, like being promoted. I don't follow the wave. Like, I don't follow trends. So I'm not really big on sandwiches and burgers and shit like that in the first place. That's just not my thing. So... yeah,
I'm gonna just say this: Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich is only good with sauce, with the Polynesian sauce, or the Chick-fil-A sauce.
Yeah, that Polynesian.
But Popeyes sandwich, I eat that shit up.
You don't need nothing on it all. What about you, Kate Smith? What you thinking?
I don't do the chicken sandwiches anymore, but I have had the Chick-fil-A, and she with the sauce. I need
it tastes a lot better with the sauce.
Just that bitch up.
Otherwise it's not gonna be right. I know they used to sell them at my high school, and if they ain't had no sauce, I wasn't buying it. And it came with chips, not fries. So
I don't like their fries though. I always substitute it for fruit because I don't
love their fries.
I don't like waffle fries.
I just go and get fries.
Popeyes fries be heating though.
They do.
Well, y'all heard it here first. Old Jelly's Ears to the Streets. Make sure you check her out every Wednesday. Talk Back to Me podcast. #Ears to the Streets. We'll be right back with Chelsea. Where's the wine? Only on Talk Back to Me podcast.
Boom.
All right. And we back again. Talk Back to Me podcast, powered by Core94. Chelsea has been really dropping a lot of gems with her inspirational quotes and views on what it takes with Where's the Wine. What you got for us?
Well, today, guys, I just want to talk about if you're jealous of your friend, you're not actually their friend. So I've had several experiences where I realize now, like, you know, after a situation, you think about it and you realize, oh, damn, that's what that was. I don't understand how you can even be jealous of your friend. Like, the first thing, if my friend comes to me with good news, the first thing I think about, like, I'm happy for you. You know, I'm proud of you. And somebody like me, if I'm doing something, I'm gonna be sure to put my friends in the position, if I'm able to where they're gonna oh, he's talking to me. You're gonna have to cut that. But you know, to where they're in a position to prevail as well. I had a situation where I was talking to Brittany today, and I was like, that's what my segment gonna be about. Like, if you jealous, like, you can't be my friend. But I've had situations where I've had people that don't want to hang out with me because they don't want me to look better than them.
It's a damn shame.
Yeah, or they don't invite me places because I get too much attention.
Mm-hmm.
And I ask. You know, and I never thought about it. One of my friends told me, because I was like, I don't know what it is, and she was like, you do realize that, like, that she's jealous, and that's why they do that. I mean, they never said it out loud, but you can just feel it. You know, you call me soon as something serious happened, but when it's time to hang out, I don't get no call. You know what I'm saying? And so I remember in high school, this girl, y'all know her, but I ain't gonna say her name. She, like, after school, we would go to, like, other schools and shit, and she would be like, oh, your butt big and her butt big. My butt big too. Y'all's bigger than mine, so I'm gonna walk in the middle. So when people see y'all, they gonna automatically look in the middle so they can see my butt first. And it was like, what?
Sounds more so like insecurity.
Yeah.
Hashtag insecure.
Yeah.
But it's just crazy because, like, you don't realize how many people are like that, and a lot of people are calling people their friends, and they're not. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you have good news and they hit you with that, oh yeah, you know, congratulations, I'm happy for you. I get that so many times, y'all, and it makes my energy go down because it's like, damn, I was excited to talk to my friend about some good shit, and she just like,
energy what?
oh yeah, girl.
Vampires.
Right. For real.
It's just, you know, and you oh, okay, yeah, that's good anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I don't call people best friend now. Like, I got people that I'm cool with, that I talk to about certain shit, but every time I call somebody a best friend, they do some bullshit. And y'all, we really got to do better, because a lot of it, and I don't really know about men because I'm not a man, but as women, especially black women, we got to stop, like, trying to, like, tearing each other down. Like, why can't we be happy for each other? You know what I'm saying? It goes on to what you were saying about not supporting your friends, or, you know, we supporting the chicken sandwich, but we ain't supporting our friends. And it's like, a lot of people don't support their friends because they're jealous, or they're afraid that her shit about to take off and I'm still where I'm at.
That's where it's at.
Yeah.
And, you know, like Megan said, you know, y'all don't want to see me do better than you. Well, I guess she wasn't the first person to say that, but that shit is real.
It's deep as hell.
That shit is weird. If we still chilling at the house, not doing shit with our lives, we good. But as soon as I get a job and I'm making a little bit more money than you, and I can pay off, you know what I'm saying, my car, or I can get this and that, oh, she thinks she better than everybody. And, you know, that's not necessarily the case. Is you should want to do better too. You should be happy for me, because that means you next.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's something my mama always told me. Don't ever be jealous somebody close to you, because when people around you are getting blessed, your blessings are coming too.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've experienced that firsthand with Jelly several times before I even started noticing it.
Yeah.
Then myself, she would, you know, always comment, even under the shade room, like, who's up next? You know, she would be tagging me. I'd be like, you know,
Yeah.
not why you tagging me, but, like, you see that in me, you know? So it
Yeah,
made me feel a little bit better about myself, because it's like, you know, there's another phenomenal black woman that sees something that I don't see within myself, but then I got, you know, the ones closest to me that they not even, you know, good job. You know, you text me every day talking about this, that, and the third, but I got somebody who I don't even see on a day-to-day basis that's encouraging me. I think that, you know, kind of goes with the definition of what a real friend is, you know, like, what are you looking for out of the friendship? You know, are you only seeking to be able to gossip with me or, you know, vent to me, but, you know, is that the dynamics of our friendship?
Right.
You know?
I mean, you got to start treating friendships like you do relationships.
Right. What am I going to get out of this?
Right.
You know?
Right. And what can I do to help you? Like, it's beneficial. We ain't just cool. We ain't just going to the club. We ain't just drinking together. Like, I'm trying to have people around me that I could grow with.
Right.
You know? So it's just like, you got to peep them people in the beginning. Because, you know, you see red flags in friends, but just like you see red flags in relationships.
Because when I was speaking about energy vampires, sometimes they can disguise it. You know, they'll compliment you, but there's the shade behind it. Just like, you know, she's telling you, you know, y'all both got big butts. That's a compliment, but I'm you know, stand in the middle because I got a smaller one. You know, that's the shade behind it, you know, and that's her masking her insecurity. So, you know, you don't see it, you know, that's type of things that you brush off to the side, like, oh, you know, she doesn't want to walk in the middle, but no,
because we laughed.
Sis really feels some type of way, but it's about herself. It don't have nothing to do with you, you know. But sometimes they'll, you know, cover that up with other things.
Dog, like that shit crazy, because like you said, you can't tell in the beginning, but I do think there are red flags, and we just be like, I bet you crazy, you know. But at the same time, it's just like, I don't know. I feel like when it's a friendship, we give our friends more of a pass than anything.
True.
You know, we'll cut a nigga off quick, you know, but when it come to friends, it's like, oh, she ain't mean it. Like, it took me a while to find out somebody I called the best friend really wouldn't. Like, she never supported me. I invite her to stuff, and she just like, oh, girl, I'm busy. I can't go. I got to study. I got to this. But whenever she did something, oh, I want you there because you good at networking. You know how to talk to people. You real professional. And it didn't click in my head, but I was going. You know what I'm saying? I was helping her. I was connecting her to people she was scared to talk to, you know. But then it was like, whenever it was time for me, she never came to none of my birthday events. And it took one of my other friends. She was just like, you notice the people you don't talk to on a daily basis, we come to all your shit, and your best friend don't come to nothing. But you always there for her. And I was like, it never clicked in my, I guess I'm a little ditzy, but
I used
just
to feel
see the
like
good
that
in
too.
people.
yeah, you know, and I was just like, but you know, she's such a good friend. Like, we connect on this level. Like, I didn't want to believe, you know what I'm saying, that
she's envious.
Right. But it was. And what's crazy is the same people that do shit to me, they come to me and complain about other people doing that shit to them.
You know,
yeah, I think people are reflections of each other, and they don't really notice that. But just like with her, you know, the high school friend, that, you know, the whole bus situation, she saw something that she wanted, you know, for herself within you, but she didn't know how to properly acknowledge it. So I think, you know, there can be jealousy, but you know that there's, you know, the lack of not knowing how to talk to you about what you have and how can I get that without me feeling like you're superior than me, you know. I want to know, how can you walk around with this confidence, or how do you know you handle your business so well, but I don't know how to approach you because I feel some type of way about myself, you know. So it comes off as jealousy because they don't really know how to, you know, approach you about it. And she probably does want to be your friend, but she just, you know, she don't know how to go about it. You know, that's something that she looks up to you about, and that's why I try to encourage women that regardless of what you see in me, I see it in you too. And I got that from Jelly as well. Like, if you able to see it in me, then I know that, you know, it's in you as well, you know, because we're a reflection. But if all I see in myself is ugliness or bitterness, then, you know, I don't know how to talk to you, you know, or I'm going to feel like, you know, you may judge me, you know.
How am I supposed to want better for you if I only want better for myself?
Exactly.
And that's what I say all the time about people loving themselves. Like, how are you going to show someone else love and you haven't learned to love yourself and respect yourself, and you haven't acknowledged the power you have within you? You know, I was in a place where it was just like I was in a rut. Like, I didn't know how to get out of it. I was in a state of depression, and then I was following Kamaya. I had been knowing her since high school, but I was following Kamaya, and she was just having like a down day one day, and I was like, like this ain't for her. I was like, this ain't for her. Like, you know, it's a lot of people who go through things, and it's difficult to bring them out of that. Yeah. But with some people, all you need is positive reinforcement. Mm-hmm. All you need is somebody who's like, no, you got this. I don't give a damn what it feel like you're going through. It's always the toughest before it gets better. Yeah. You know, it's always. And Kamaya is a really spiritual person. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, she's she feels like, okay, if the devil is attacking me this hard and this much, it's because he knows what he's up against. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, and he knows that I'm destined for something so much more. So use that as a means to push yourself. Mm-hmm. Don't settle. Don't get comfortable. Don't become stagnant. You know, dwell in your power. But also make sure what you want out of people is what you're giving to people. Mm-hmm. Because I want positive reinforcement. I want people to tell me like, hey, you got this. You're doing a great job. Mm-hmm. It's times where I feel like, you know, I could be doing better as a mother. And then, boom, she'll pop out of nowhere and was like, oh, I saw this little post and I thought about you. Yeah. Or, man, when I had my baby, I can't wait to, you know, be how you are with your baby. Yeah. And it's just like, oh, damn, you're actually doing something. You know, you're doing something worth recognition.
Yeah. What you don't see, you know. And I think that that's what makes the difference. And I also think that sometimes you expect it to come from those certain friends, and I feel like you shouldn't, you know, because there will be times where I'm looking for my best friend that's texting me, you know, every day to encourage me the way that Jelly encouraged me, but I'm not going to get that from her. But I have to understand that this is the type of friendship that we have, you know. We just got the friendship where we talk, we hang out, you know, we can drink, but I know that I can go to Jelly for encouragement, you know, this, that, and the third. And maybe that's how your friend was, you know. I know for sure that I can go to her for the business, and I know that she know how to do this for sure. I don't really know how to be a good friend, but I know that she knows how to be a good friend, so that's why I keep her around, you know. I think that sometimes it can be jealousy, but then other times you just gotta try to understand, you know, where are you coming from, sis? Let's have a conversation before I just, you know, mark you off as jealousy, because sometimes it's not that, you know.
Right, and that's why I said that didn't even cross my mind.
Right, because you know you're such a good person, you know.
Right, and then she was just like, girl, that's not your friend. Like,
but I'm that friend. I tell all my friends, that ain't your friend, that's your associate. Right. That's your coworker. Sis. That is not your friend. Yeah. Like, I'm your friend, I'm your best friend, we are family. That right there, I don't know what that is. Yeah. But don't be coming trying to mix up what we got going on with all the extra. That's not your friend. That is not your friend. Because the minute they feel like you're succeeding in an area they haven't, they're going to turn against you. Yeah. They're going to start doing negative things, a little petty shit, you know, throwing shade. Like, we're not going to do that.
Bro, I went a whole year. Well, not went a whole year. I didn't hear from, like, none of my friends for, like, a whole year at one point. And I was going through some shit. And I was too embarrassed to talk to anybody about it. It's stuff I went through that don't nobody know about. But I didn't hear, like, maybe every now and then I heard from a couple, like one or two people. But I have a group of people that I grew up with. I ain't hear from nobody for a whole year.
Did you reach out?
I was in a, like, depressive state, so no. Okay. But it was like, I talk to Chelsea every day, and now all of a sudden I ain't heard from her in 3 months. It was just like, ain't nobody think something ain't right. You know what I'm saying?
Like, damn, where's Chelsea?
Right. Because, like, even, like Brittany, if I answer the phone and she be like, hey, girl, I be like, what's wrong? What the fuck didn't happen? You know what I'm saying? Like, when it's your friend, you know, like, you can sense something. I had a friend, whenever she was in a bad mood, I didn't even have to hear her voice. I just be like, let me call her real quick. Something feel weird. And I'll call her and she tell me some, you know, fucked up stuff happened to her. And it's just like, oh, okay, you know. So I just feel like when you connected to people for real, you just know. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes you do. I had a friend, though, where our friendship fell off because I feel like it was a misunderstanding. You know, there was a situation that happened between us that I didn't talk to a lot of people about for a long time. But what she did say before we ended the friendship was, you know, that I was going through something as well. And what I tried to do was, you know, magnify my issue over her and not understanding that maybe, you know, the way that she acted was because of what she was going through. But I just was only thinking about myself. So I think that sometimes when you look into a friend for some help, you also got to be a friend as well. Like, hey, before I come to you with this issue, you know, are you okay to talk? You know, because you don't really know. If they not speaking, maybe it's something going on with them too. So can we link up? You know, because I think that that's at the point where you need to reach out to someone. Like, you know, if you're not talking to me and I'm not talking to you, I know that I'm going through something. But just like you saying, I know you,
Yeah.
you know what's going on. Like, if we are friends.
And then see, for me, that was the thing. I'm getting on Snapchat and Instagram, and all my friends together, they hanging out. Ain't nobody calling me and inviting me nowhere.
That's different.
Yeah,
you know?
it was just like,
It goes both ways.
You know?
It goes both ways. You know, you live and you learn. I didn't drop a lot of friends that I thought that I had. The more that I kept growing, and I think that's a part of shedding, you know, your old skin.
For sure.
Like, it's all a part of it. Everybody not meant to go with you to the next level.
That's true.
And sometimes it takes, you know, situations like that for you to remove them out of your life so that you can keep growing. Otherwise,
because otherwise you wouldn't.
Yeah. And do you want to still be around those people that you can't depend on, or would you rather, you know, the situation reveal itself and you just get away with them, you know?
Yep.
Amen to that. So Chelsea, while your viewers are watching, they've been real in tune with you. They've been dropping some comments. They need more inspiration. What would you tell this viewer right now, this girl, this boy, or whoever is watching? How would they decipher a friend or foe?
That's something you really gotta, you know what I'm saying, know within yourself, because it just depends on, like she said, what type of friendship you're looking for. So you'll know it's situational. You'll know, based on what it is that you want. But what I will say is one thing that I've tried to practice with my friends or people that I consider friends, I definitely try to be more positive. I try to listen more than I give advice, unless they asking for advice. Other than that, I don't know I can't stop talking. But definitely try to be positive in your relationships. Try to be not necessarily just a shoulder to lean on, because sometimes you need a shoulder as well. But a lot of times we forget other people have issues too, and we dump all our shit on people. And like she said, you never know if somebody else is going through something. I was listening to another podcast, and she was just like, I call my friend, I'll be like, hey, are you in a mental state to hear some shit that I got going on? So sometimes you really do have to look out for other people's mental state or emotional state before you dump all your shit on them. So I feel like that's also being a friend versus just, it being one-sided. Try to at least, be a friend. And if you don't know how, sis, I don't know how you can learn how to be a friend. Yeah. But some people want friends and don't know how to be a friend. So I'm getting all of this from you because you're a real friend, and I don't know how to give you anything back. You just got to practice those things. So yeah.
That's the tea right there. That's the spill with Where's the Wine. Make sure y'all check it out every Wednesday. Talk Back to Me podcast. # Where's the Wine. If y'all want to talk about it some more, make sure y'all # Let's Talk About It at Soyini Jones. We'll be back. Talk Back to Me podcast. Final take. All right, and we're back with final takes. I'm going to go ahead and start this one off with She Is K. Smith, special co-host. So let me ask you something.
Okay.
Speaking to a daughter, if you had a daughter, if you do have one, you're speaking to someone else's daughter with beauty marks, how are you going to identify? What would you teach that daughter growing up in today's society on how to accept who they are?
What I want to instill in my daughter is more so what she sees in me. Being who you are, embracing the different in you. I know that she'll be able to see what she can relate to in several other different women, but whatever you see in yourself, enhance that's different from the other person. So me, for instance, with me relating to women and wanting to speak, that's something that's different. A lot of women don't want to talk to women, or a lot of women don't want to encourage women. So whatever you find that's really different about you, dig deeper into that, because that's what's going to be, your guide, I feel like. So stray away from what you see the trend is, and, just dig deep within yourself.
I like that. Jim. Go ahead, Jelly. What you got on that one?
So, yeah, it would definitely be don't fit into anyone's mold, be unapologetically you, and maximize your potential. I always feel like, don't let someone tell you what you can't be. Don't let someone tell you who you are. You show them what you're made of.
Yep.
And always be as beautiful internally as you are externally, because people's attitudes and people's spirits sometimes makes them the ugliest people.
Yeah.
And I want you to feel like no matter what, there is someone for me to talk to. There is someone for me to relate to. There is someone who identifies with what I'm going through. And it's okay to be yourself, and it's also okay to get help. And it's just, you know, love yourself and emit love. Be the light that you want to see.
Amen to that. Man, it's just too much gym in one episode. I got me over here. Shit.
You sitting at a table full of gems.
I'm a Ruby.
All right, Chills, go ahead. What you got on that one?
I'm gonna say never settle. That's one thing I noticed a lot of women have in common is it doesn't matter if it's in relationships or business or whatever the case may be. I notice a lot of women settle. And like Jelly said, you know, you got to maximize your potential. When you have it, you know, you got to let your light shine. That was one thing my dad always told me when I was younger. He was like, you got so much potential, but you lazy. Mm-hmm. You know, so it's like if you see it, you know what I'm saying? And everybody got something in them. You have to identify what that is. And you have to put that forward. Like you have to put your best foot forward and try your best at that. Don't ever let anybody make you feel uncomfortable, you know, with who you are, because that's the only person you can be comfortable with is yourself. So just never settle for anything that anybody else is telling you what you got to do or who you got to be.
Boy, sitting around a bunch of queens that inspire you on it. Ooh. All right. My final take is simple. Know your queenship. You only as powerful as what you believe you are. Don't let nobody else define you. You're a queen. Rock your crown. Rock it. Make sure y'all tune in every Wednesday. Controversial topics, inspirational views with the occasional tea. We're closing out with beauty marks. We are Talk Back to Me Podcast.
Okay.